Welcome to my channel. In this video, I wanted to cover Freeport-McMoRan. This is a mining company and they mine copper, they mine gold. Both of those commodities have really gone up in price over the last 5 years. Therefore, miners could make a lot more money. And is Freeport-McMoRan a good investment? That's what I want to conclude with this video. Now, my investing strategy is to find good companies that are discounted and that I could buy at a nice discount and see my investment go up in value. I'll be doing an intrinsic value calculation of Freeport-McMoRan and determining what I think the stock price ought to be valued at and compare it to its current stock price to see if there's a really good discount available on this stock. Now, this company over the past year is down about 24%. Over the 5 year, it's really flourished. It's up 343%. After COVID, this stock was really left for dead, and it's really rewarded investors that bought at that time. Now, this stock is going to go where gold prices and copper prices take it. And over the last year, gold has gone up nicely, 41% over the last year, and then 90% over the last 5 years. Copper is also doing well. It's up 107% over the last 5 years. So that looks good for the mining industry. Now let's take a closer look at fundamentals and see what this company is worth and arrive at a decision whether this is a good buy, a hold, or a sell of Freeport-McMoRan. Freeport-McMoRan is a $54 billion market cap company, and its revenues are $24.8 billion. So you're paying about 2 times sales for the company. The PE ratio is a little high, especially for a mining company. A 30 PE is high. Analysts like the stock. They think it's discounted by almost 30%. And when we look at their financials, the most recent quarter, the earnings that were announced yesterday show that the revenue did go down. Now, the reason why revenues went down is the volume of material that they got for copper and gold was lower than the previous year because the commodity prices had gone up. So that is an area of concern, is why aren't they extracting more material, more units of both copper and gold? When we look at the cash flow, another little trouble area is that they produced negative cash in the most recent quarter. They put a lot of capital back in the business, and mining companies do require a lot of capital. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the average free cash flow for the last 8 years, because you've had really good years, you've had terrible years, and everything in between. So to create a logical forecast, I'm going to take the average for the last 8 years and just average everything out and have a good basis for my forecast. The gross margins of the company have come down a bit over the years, and not sure that's an area of trouble, but in 21, they had really good margins. And then in 22, the margins began to slip and we're down to 38% from 47% 4 years ago. So that is just a reality that I guess it's cost more money to operate their mines than before. The balance sheet for the company is in solid condition. They have a debt to EBITDA about 1. They have a net of $5 billion of debt when you take their debt minus cash, and that balance sheet's pretty strong. Having a 1 debt to EBITDA is a pretty good quality balance sheet. Analysts, 13 of them, review the company and they like the company. They think it's a buy, especially since gold prices have been really going up. And they believe it's discounted by almost 30%. They base it on earnings per share, and earnings per share are really going to flourish, especially if copper prices and gold prices continue to go up. It's just going to make them more profitable. The key is they have to get the volumes that they're extracting to go up as well. I'm going to take this data along with the free cash flow averages and value the company. Let me comment on the desirability of Freeport-McMoRan, and I value it on 2 different metrics. First one being, what's the strength of their moat, their competitive advantages? And second, is the company intrinsically a growing, profitable, high free cash flow company? And I put Freeport-McMoRan in the gray, where I do believe that they have strong moats. I think about the mines that they own, and they have the right to extract out of particular areas. Nobody else can come in and start working those territories. So that is a natural barrier to keep competitors out. And it is tough to find reserves for both gold and copper, and Freeport-McMoRan has done so. So that is their advantage. You can't just pick a spot on Earth and start digging for gold. You have to know where it's at. These guys know where it's at, and they have the right to extract from those areas. When it comes to growth, profitability, and free cash flow, they are not great, which is why I keep them out of the green. And inherently, mining companies, I don't think would ever exist in the green. They just don't have a great growth engine other than being beneficiaries of commodities going up. If they're fortunate and gold goes up, copper goes up, yes, their revenues would go up. But the flip side, if they're unfortunate and those commodities were to go down, their revenues would go down. It wasn't that they operated poorly. It's just that the commodities are selling for less and they make less money as a result. Having said that, it's a company in the gray. In order for me to invest in a company like this, I'd have to receive a really good discount. Let me take you through a valuation that I completed for Freeport-McMoRan. First, cash flow. Let's value the company using cash flow. And I'm taking the average for 8 years. That way, I mix in good years, bad years, and everything in between. And my starting point will be $2.5 billion of free cash flow. I'm going to grow those by 10%. And I'm growing by a pretty optimistic rate because gold prices have been really rising. I don't see anything causing them to fall. And same thing for copper. So I'm optimistic for them for the next 4 years. Then after that, we'll go with 4%. I'm going to discount all those cash flows by 8%. It is a quality company. Their balance sheet's really good. So I get to about a $69 billion value for the cash flows. The cash on the balance sheet and debt on the balance sheet add and take away from the value, and we get down to a $63.9 billion equity value of Freeport-McMoRan stock. When I break that down, it's a 15% discount available on the stock. When we look at earnings per share, the PE was high, and I'm not going to go with a 30. I'm going to go with 18. This is mining. They are enjoying a good time, but it's still mining. I'm not going to go beyond 18. And I'm going to use their expected earnings per share, grow it by 20%, and I get to a 4% premium that an investor would have to pay if you just look at the earnings per share value of the company. I'm going to blend the two, the free cash flow method with the earnings per share method. I get to a blended discount of 10%. So the intrinsic value is 10% higher than its current stock price. So Freeport-McMoRan's intrinsic value is $41.68, which is about 10% higher than its current stock price. It's a discount, but not a great discount. The desirability of Freeport-McMoRan is not extremely high. It's just okay. It's in the gray. So for me, Freeport-McMoRan would be a hold if I own the stock, but it would not be a buy. I'm not an investor in Freeport-McMoRan, and I'm not going to buy any shares. I think they could really flourish if gold continues to rise and copper continues to rise. And if they can improve their operation and produce more. Their production had fallen. The number of units they produced was lower than the year before. So overall, it's, I think, a company that's flourished over the last 5 years, but it just doesn't provide enough of a discount to compel me to buy the stock. So that's my review of Freeport-McMoRan. If you like videos like this, I encourage you to become a paid member of the channel. You'll get a lot of perks, which include member-only videos, member calls. You get access to the tools that I use when I evaluate companies. And overall, just supporting the channel, you'll get far more than just being a subscriber. So please consider it, and I'd really appreciate that. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your investments.